It's called Peace and Quiet. I need some place that doesn't have winter. I need some place where I can stay warm.
From a singer-songwriter's perspective, the advantage of living in a place like this is that it is such a socially and geographical microcosm. And any of us who are involved in the creative art form, in any creative art form, are more or less trying to portray a mirror image of society as a whole, looking for that universal concept. And when you only have to look around the corner, it's a whole lot easier than going to the other side of the state.
Someplace I could let myself be. I ain't bothering no one, and don't want bothering. There ain't nobody bothering me.
Plus, the other thing I like about it is it takes a different kind of person to want to live at the end of the road. So from a writer's point of view, the people that you're getting your stories from, the people that you're watching to create your characters from, have some real rough edges on them. They have some sharp points on their personalities. They're not completely homogenized into society. They're pretty interesting folks, doing some pretty interesting things and making this a really interesting place to live.
Some place that doesn't have winter. I just came down for the weekend and I was running from the ice and the snow.
The only person I've collaborated with down here was Shel Silverstein, and that was because he used to come by here and stand at the side of the stage and listen to me talk. And one day I was doing a story about how probably most of the people who love living in Key West came to it because of kind of an extended vacation that just completely got out of control.
Just come down for the weekend, but that was 35 years ago.
You know, and you got to the point where you said, look, why am I going back to Toledo? What is it that's drawing me back there? I think that's how most of us who live down here came down here. And that's why most people who live down here love living down here. It's still better than anywhere I've ever been. You know, I love living down here.
Yes, I just come down for the weekend, but that was 35 years ago.
There's one particular song that I had intended to do with Shel.
Does anybody else remember?
And I had talked to him about it.
When he used to live down here.
And it concerned this strange moment where the Parrot Heads are in town.
He was working late at night in these sleazy dives for dollar tips and beers.
And so I wrote this song about Jimmy Buffett back in the old days. And I thought they'd appreciate a song, you know, before he became rich and famous, you know, when he was just one of us guys, you know.
He was years away from fortune and fame, but he didn't even seem to care. He's come a long way from the battle.
And the first verse was about Jimmy Buffett, and I realized it didn't work. And so I took it home and I started messing around with it, and I realized that the rest of the song should be about trying to get people to listen to something they never heard before. Because there is this odd tipping point. There's this point at which you have never seen it, heard it, watched it, felt it before.
And every song was something new, once upon a time. And everybody's trying to do the best song of his life.
And then, for some strange reason, it becomes your favorite. How and when and why and where that happens, I will never, ever know. But there was a point that your favorite song was a song you'd never heard before. Because you'd never heard it, you probably didn't really listen to it until the day came when you went, what did he say? Or until your friend said, you really got to hear this song. Now just sit and listen to it.
Star. And most folks think it's just background noise and best to be ignored. 'Cause they've never seen him in the magazines, never heard his name before. And they've never seen him on a TV screen and never heard that song before.
And so it becomes this test on a day-to-day basis to do their song better than I've ever done it. So that once I've got their attention, then I can get their respect. And if I can get their respect, then I can play them one of my songs and they might listen to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for your edification and enlightenment, may I present to you the Conch Republic National Anthem. Key West, Florida's my home, and I know I'll never ever want to roam, 'cause the ladies are lovely and drinking is considered a sport. And I'd rather be here just drinking a beer than freezing my ass in the north. The other day I was out on the water. There's something kind of magical out there. I was fooling around with this old man's daughter, you know, and I was drinking more than my share of his beer. Well, they paid me to play, and then they asked me to stay and help them finish what was left of their booze. And I could be anywhere, but I better stay right here. This island is the life I choose. Key West, Florida is my home, and I know I'll never ever want to roam, 'cause the ladies are lovely and drinking's considered a sport. I'd rather be here just drinking a beer than busting my ass in New York. So I'm gonna be swimming every day out in my ocean. At night I'll be hanging out in this bar. I got fresh fish to eat, and whenever I need, I got genuine Cuban cigars. And my ex-wife thinks I'm crazy, calls me long distance to tell me I'm being weird. While she's freezing her butt off, I'm wearing cutoffs, and bartender, you wanna get me another beer? Key West, Florida is my home, and I know I'll never ever wanna roam, 'cause the ladies are lovely and drinking's my favorite sport. Well, second favorite. I'd rather be here just drinking a beer than freezing my ass in the north. I'd rather be here just drinking a beer than freezing my ass in the north. There you go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks.